Today, we are going to tackle one of the biggest challenges out there. How do you actually get noticed? We're going to walk through a 6-step marketing map that's designed to make your message not just louder, but, well, unforgettable. Let's dive in.
So let's just start with the question that probably keeps every single creator and entrepreneur up at night. I mean, in a world that is completely saturated, where it feels like everybody is selling something, how on earth do you stand out from the crowd?
Our first instinct is just to shout louder, right? Buy more ads, post more, just more. But honestly, that's just a race to the bottom. The real solution isn't about volume. It's about having a clear direction. It's not about having a bigger megaphone. It's about having a way better map.
And that map, that's exactly what we are charting today. We're going to explore a 6-step framework that is that very guide, showing you how to forge a connection with your audience that's, way deeper and way more authentic.
So our map begins with part 1, the mindset shift. Before we even think about tactics or strategies, we have to fundamentally change how we think about what we're offering in the first place. And that brings us right to step 1, the perspective shift. It's such a simple but powerful idea. Stop selling what your product is and start selling what your product does for people. Your audience, they don't buy features. They buy a better version of themselves. Here's a perfect example for you. Imagine you're selling a camera. You could just list all the technical specs, the ISO levels, all that jargon, or you could paint a picture, capture stunning moments in low light, even under the moonlight. See the difference? One is just data, the other is a dream. Which leads us perfectly into step 2. You have to enter their world. This is all about deep empathy. It's about really understanding their struggles, their hidden fears, their biggest pain points. What's that one thing that actually keeps them awake at night? Because here's the thing. When you can articulate their problem better than they can, you suddenly stop being a salesperson who's just listing features. You become a problem solver. You're offering a genuine solution. And that is how you earn their attention and their trust. Okay, so we've shifted our mindset. Now for part 2 of the map, the human connection. This is where we actually build a bridge from your message straight to your audience's heart. So, step 3 is the emotional hook. It's a fundamental truth of how we're all wired. We decide with our hearts, and then we use our heads to justify it later. Your marketing has to speak to the heart first, period.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? It's not just about the facts, it's about how you make them feel. That right there is your core mission, to make them feel something, whether it's excitement or relief, or maybe just a sense of belonging.
I mean, think about the classic American Express example. When all these new fee-free credit cards came out, the logical move for Amex was to drop their annual fee, right? But what they found out was that the fee was actually a huge part of the card's prestige. For their customers, that feeling of exclusivity was worth way more than the $50 they'd save. It's just a powerful lesson that value is all about perception, not always logic.
Next up, step 4, the specificity filter. In a world that is just full of vague, fluffy promises, clarity is your superpower. You have to ditch the fluff and give people concrete, specific details they can actually grab onto.
Just look at the difference here. Lose weight fast. I mean, it's a promise we've all heard a million times, and it's basically meaningless. But lose 5 kilograms in 3 weeks without dieting? Now that is a specific, measurable goal. It feels real, and because it feels real, it's incredibly powerful.
Okay, so we've built the connection, we've made it real. Now for the final part of our map, part 3, the call to action. This is where we turn that amazing connection into actual, tangible action.
Which brings us to step 5, the urgency lever. Let's be honest, we're all natural procrastinators. To get people to act now, you have to create a sense of urgency. And the best way to do that is by tapping into that super powerful fear of missing out, or FOMO.
So how do you actually create that FOMO? Well, you can show social proof. Look at all these people who've already bought in. You can slap a countdown timer on an offer. You can highlight that there's limited availability. And you can use compelling language that really pushes for immediate action. Each of these gives people a really good reason to act right now, not later.
And that brings us to our final stop on the map, step 6, the fun factor. This is so important, and it gets ignored all the time. The single biggest crime you can commit in marketing is just being boring. You got to be authentic, you got to be memorable, you got to be human.
This quote really drives the point home. Even when you're talking about something as serious as a business school interview, they advise you to have a sense of humor. It's a great reminder that being personable and memorable is a huge advantage, no matter what you're doing.
And this is exactly why you hear about those totally absurd interview questions. Like, how many jelly donuts fit into the Leaning Tower of Pisa? They're not just trying to test your logic. They're testing your personality, your creativity, and your ability to handle something completely unexpected with a little bit of flair.
All right, we've done it. We've navigated all 6 points on our journey. So let's pull back and take a look at the finished map.
And there it is, your complete marketing map. Let's run through it one more time. 1. Focus on results, not products. 2. Step into their world. 3. Appeal to their emotions. 4. Get specific. 5. Leverage FOMO. And finally, number 6, make it fun. This is your guide to making a real connection.
And when you follow this map, you're making a huge shift. You stop shouting into the void and you start building genuine, real connections. You go from being just another voice in the crowd to being the one they actually remember.
So, we'll leave you with this one question. You have the map. The path is clear. The only thing left to ask is, where are you going to go next?